Yeah, we have been discussing about the voltage quality improvement. Okay, where we have seen have been discussed about when you have been improving the voltage quality with respect to the sag voltage, the device which is there, this particular device, this particular device, yeah, this particular device is it has to inject the real power as well as the reactive power. That's what we have seen in the last class also. Okay, this is the power. How we got it is the current which is with the phasor, this particular diagram, this is the VT1 is a pre-sag voltage and the VT2 is the sag voltage. During the process, the voltage, this particular voltage, the VSE, is injected by this particular uh, compensating device. See, once you inject the voltage in this particular direction, the voltage has been reached to the locus of this particular the VT1. Okay. Now the IL2, which is the current, the IL2 is very well equivalent to the this is IL2 phasor. This IL2 phasor is very well equivalent to the IL1. This IL1 with respect to this the pre-sag voltage. Okay. With respect to the VT2, the VT2 is this voltage. With respect to this VT2, the current flowing through this line is the IL2. Okay, is flowing through this is the IL2. What just include this. Yeah. Again, I try to explain here. This is the VT1. VT1. With respect to this, the load current is this, the IL1. I mean, this is the VT1 voltage and this is the feeder impedance and this is a source voltage and now this is the line, this is the load. Okay, I know it is drawing about of IL1. It's an angle of phi. Now somehow there is a fault occurred on the system, fault occurred on the system. Maybe this is the feeder impedance and this is the fault has been occurred. Now, when the fault has been occurred, you know what will be the voltage across this particular point on the terminal VT. The voltage with respect to this is the VT1. VT1. Now, the voltage during the sag, during during sag, which has come to over here, which has come to there is a phase shift. Okay, maybe this one is about the VT. With respect to VT2, there is no device over here to correct the voltage at the load point. There is no device at this particular point. Now, during this case, if we consider the load which have been connected during the sag and pre-sag condition, the load will be the same. And the load which is there, which is connected as the impedance load only. It is an impedance load, but it is not a constant power load. At this particular, how much is the decrease in the voltage magnitude? The same is going to affect on the current of the low current. Okay, this is about the IL2. I mean, this IL2 is with respect to the impedance load, constant impedance load. Okay. Now what we are trying to do was we try to make use of a device. We'll try to make use of a device uh, during the sag, during the fault. This is a fault. during the fault, we use a device which I mentioned about a series active power filter, or a dynamic voltage restorer. Okay, this is about the VT and this is about the VL. With respect to the during sag, plus you have a dynamic voltage restorer or a series uh, active power filter, or is a, I can just mention as a series active power filter, series active power filter. In this case, this is the pre-sag voltage, that is VT1. Now the voltage has been come to the point where about this is the VT2. Okay, now this is the device which is injecting in, let us assume that maybe it tries to inject this fashion also. Okay, this method also it can be possible. Okay, assume that in the last class what I explained was I was injected the voltage in phase with respect to the VT2 voltage, Okay, the injection of the load voltage by the series active power filter is this phase. Okay, this is about the series device. Now it has come to a VL2, or even you can say that it is a, yeah, it should be VL2. It is the load voltage, right? At this particular point is about the yeah, this is the VL2. Okay. Earlier case, I mean, especially this particular case, case 1, this is an ideal healthy condition. The VT1 is very well equivalent to VL1. Okay. During the sag, without a series compensator, as case 2, this case the VT2 is very well equivalent to the load voltage. Now, during the sag, with the DVR plus series active power filter, the VL2 is the voltage of the VT2 plus the series active power filter. Now what happened was, now the load voltage becomes this particular magnitude, which is very well equivalent to this the VT1, which is very well equivalent to this the VT1. It should be VT1. Okay. Now what happened was the current, which is still a lagging by an angle of a phi, whatever this is there, the phi, the same of phi, because the load power factor is not going to change anything, whatever it is there during at a pre-sag condition, whatever it is there, the phi, the same is there during the sag, but the current magnitude is reduced. Whereas this case of when we have the series compensator also, the IL2 is going to increase because the VL2 has raised, but the load power factor is as such like the same. Okay. Now we try to able to figure out the powers. In last class we have seen like the series active power filter, what power it is there. The power is like the voltage injection is VSC, and the current which is flowing through this is the IL2 conjugate. This is the equation which we got it. IL2. This is IL2. This is an IL2. Okay. See, this is the voltage, the VT2, as at this particular point, the VT2. With respect to the VT2, the current flow is IL2. Now, this is IL2, which is equivalent to this IL1 current, magnitude wise, and even the phasor is with respect to the VL2, with respect to VL2, IL. Now, the source power has been increased when there is no series active power filter. When you have a series compensator, the IL2 has been raised to IL1. Okay. The point here which I highlighted is the whatever the series active power filter is there, the series active power filter is injecting the VSE1 into IL times of uh, cos phi. I can say that IL2 times of cos phi plus VSJ times of ESE IL2 times of sin phi. See, the series active power filter is very well injecting the voltage. It's very well injecting the voltage. Okay. If you see this one, if you make out the VSC with this is the VT1. Okay. A VSC I'm just making out here, which is of a del angle, and this is about a del angle, the phase shift, the VSC1, and obviously there is a current of the load current is this, the IL2. You can understand like with the phasor diagram also, only have depicted over here, it is only the series active power filter voltage only. When you see this particular phasor, with respect to the VSE, there is a real component of the power as well as the reactive component of the current. That means that the VSC times of IL, just a minute. Yeah. I mean, with this phasor also, like you can get an idea. See, this is a series voltage, and this is about the IL2 current. Assume that an angle of phi. I just make out a reference of a zero reference series active power filter. Now, with this phasor also, you can understand like the series active power filter is injecting the real power as well as the reactive power. It is injecting, this is about SSC, is injecting the real power as well as the reactive power while injecting the while improving the voltage quality. So with this understanding of this particular equation, we have come to a conclusion that the series active power filter should have a device of an energy storage. See, see one thing like as I was mentioning, like there is a fault occurred on this particular device, and then we have connected a device. Yeah, we connected a device over at this particular point to improve the VL voltage, the load voltage. This is about the VT2, VT, just a VT, the VS, and then the source of VS. Yeah. I mean, this device, when you say about it is injecting the real power, then obviously this real power, you can't take the power of the power from the source, and you can't drive this by take a power in this particular series active power filter. Okay, you can't take the power of the series. See, as we mentioned, that the series compensator is injecting the some amount of the real power as well as the reactive power. See, while correcting this particular load voltage, you can't make out drawing this particular PSC power from the same source. Why? Because this source itself is in a weak condition. Why it is in a weak condition is because the source, this particular source, is experiencing a fault on this particular source. Once you say that this particular source is driving this particular fault current, we can't load more than that because the source itself has been reached to the maximum short circuit capacity also. Okay, so we can't make out the source power, this particular compensator power to be drawn from the same source. Okay, so for that reason, we can have a standby source. We can have a what do you say? Instead of drawing this particular direction, in this particular direction, okay, we can make out this particular source. Can make out this possibility. I'm just making out the possibility. The device of the series compensator should be able to take a power from a standby source also. From a standby source. A standby source can be an AC source also. Or once this series compensator, the series compensator, once if it is supplying the real power, we can make use of a DC source also. Can make use of a DC source. Okay, an AC source or a DC source. Yeah. See, when I say that this is an AC source, if you take about an AC source, how it looks like. The AC source, how does it looks like is, yeah, before going to that, the configuration, how to integrate the AC source to the AC system. See, this is an AC source. How do you integrate this the AC source to this particular AC source? We can make use of an AC voltage controller also, an AC voltage controller. Okay, or else you can go for a even cycloconverter also. Instead of that, going to this particular direction, it again, once you go for the AC voltage controller, it is again producing the harmonics also. Okay. Even the cycloconverter also the same thing. Instead of that, what we are going for is if we want to integrate a standby AC source to an AC grid, we can go for an inverter applications. Okay, inverter applications. See, in the inverter, the input should be a DC. Inverter to be, the inverter input is a DC. For that DC, what we go was we take a rectifier unit, a three-phase controlled rectifier also. You can say that the controlled controlled converter or rectifier also. See, this is an AC system. It's a standby an AC system. Okay, now this inverter is going to have a connection this particular. But whatever the inverter output over here, which we get over here, it is a, maybe we can go for a generally the inverter which we are going to operate in the PWM scheme. Okay, pulse width modulation technique, which we are, because this is just a voltage correction, and then in order to have an isolation from the from this inverter to an AC system, what we go for a transformer over here. We go for a transformer at this particular point. We go for a transformer here. We have not drawn it properly. Here is the transformer. Okay, this transformer is having a rating. This transformer is having a rating, and also what kind of the turns ratio also, it is also important. Generally, the transformer which has been used over here, it is of 1:1 transformer, 1:1 transformer. And in this case, if you consider at the load point, we have connected a maximum load. We connected a maximum load. Okay, in that case, the transformer, the current rating should be in terms of a current, this should be loaded at a full load current, Okay, with respect to the, I'm talking about with respect to the current only. Okay, the transformer, whatever is there, it should be having a the transformer which is of 1:1 transformer. It should have a voltage rating as well as the current rating. With respect to the current, what I was mentioning was, once you consider whatever this particular, see, once you are using this particular device, a series active power filter or a dynamic voltage restorer, series active power filter or dynamic restorer, this dynamic voltage restorer are with respect to this particular load alone. See, when we have been designing this particular DVR or dynamic voltage restorer or a series active power filter, the series active power filter is designed with respect to the keeping in a mind of this particular a sensitive load, okay, sensitive load. See, so that because of that, what I was mentioning was the current should be the maximum full load current, because once you fix about this particular sensitive load, should it is very sensitive for the voltage variations. We have been supporting, or we have been improvising, or we have been protecting the sensitive load, or we have been improvising the performance of the sensitive load during the voltage sag. So this particular load of the sensitive load is definitely with respect to the 1 per unit, with respect to the nominal voltage, there will be a current. Okay, with respect to nominal voltage, there will be a current. Maybe current is of 5 amperes, maybe of 10 amperes. In that case, if it is 5 amperes, a transformer should also, mostly we can go for a 5 amperes of the full load current, or plus or minus maybe hardly 1% of the variation in the full load current. Okay, not beyond that also. Okay, typically the transformer which is used to isolate the power circuit from the AC side to the inverter side, or to the AC side. And so for that reason only we have been using the isolation transformer, okay, which is of 1:1 transformer, and the current which is there, the current rating of the transformer is the full load current of the sensitive load. What about the voltage injection? See, I mean, generally, as we are seeing, like the terminal voltage or the sag voltage, which the definition says that it is of a 10% to 90% for a duration of half cycle to 1 minute. This was the definition. Okay. Can this particular device of the series active power filter, can it improve from the 10% to the 90% or 100%? Generally, especially in literature, whatever the DVR which is there, which usually support, I'm talking about support the voltage of a 0.5 a per unit only. 0.5 per unit. Suppose if it is about a 230 volts, 230 into 0.5 times of the voltage only, this particular series active power filter can able to correct. That means that what I mean to say, suppose this is a VT2, VT1 voltage, it is a 1 per unit. We can go, if the sag voltage is 0.5, we can able to go for the injection only to 0.5 per unit. If it is going to 0.3, if the voltage sag magnitude is 0.3, then the injection is possibility is only 0.5 alone. Then we can go, if it is a 0.3, then this 0.3, the injection is possible is 0.5. We can go for a 0.8 per unit only. See, this is, I mean, the consideration in the, this is the background which I was telling about the voltage injected by the dynamic voltage restorer is of a 50% of the nominal voltage. There is no as such like a specific reason why they have gone for this particular voltage injection only. Okay, there is no particular reason. We can go for even of 0.9 per unit. Okay. I mean, these are all the design which is there is with respect to the consideration of this particular sensitive load. Maybe the sensitive load which has been designed is it can able to withstand of 0.5 per unit for a duration of half cycle to 1 minute also. I mean, this particular load is can able to withstand this particular sort of the variations of 0.5 per unit for a cycle of half cycle to 1 minute also. I mean, if it is 0.6 per unit for half cycle to 1 minute, the sensitivity load able to perform satisfactorily, then it is not required to design what to say for a 0.4 per unit injection, that is 0.6 per unit injection by your series active power filter. Might be that reason. There is no as such like a specific reason why they have done. In literature, in literature, the series active power filter injection is possible only for the 50% of the 50% of the nominal voltage. Okay. This particular transformer is there, which is of 1:1 transformer, and the current is of a full load current of a sensitive load and the voltage is 50% of nominal voltage. That means that if your sensitive load is around 10 kVA, the sensitive load capacity is of 10 kVA, then this particular transformer, this is a sensitive load, is about a sensitive load power. Then in that case, they go for the injection transformer. The transformer is having also a power rating. The transformer power rating is about a 5 kVA. Okay, that means that the voltage has been reduced half of that, and obviously the current which is going to the transformer is injected by this transformer is only 50% of the voltage. Yeah. The design actually what I have given you is about the transformer. There is another compensation. See, this voltages whichever you get from the inverter by using the PWM scheme will be getting a chopped kind of a voltage. Maybe you can go for a unipolar or bipolar operation of the inverter. What we get was we get a chopped voltage. In order to make about a sinusoidal voltage, what we can go for? We can go for an LC filter also, and an LC filter. For that, the people have gone for is we can go for a capacitor on the other side, on the AC side, and then we can go for an inductor over here. This inductance of the transformer itself can be considered as the filter component, but generally connecting around a 1 millihenry, we can go for it also this side. And you have instead of using the capacitor on this side, you can go for the capacitor this particular side also. Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah, this is the one of the paper actually they have given here. Specifications of are able to see this paper, right? Control and testing of dynamic voltage at a medium voltage level.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here, the critical load, they have been mentioned it as a critical load. It is of a 400 kVA, and then the maximum grid voltage is around 10 kV, and they have given here the compensating power is about the 50%, 200 kVA. And then the DVR is this particular transformer. This particular transformer, okay, which is of the voltage which is of taken as 5 kV. And obviously the current which is the series current maybe with respect to the 10 kV volts and then this 400 kV, maybe they have given with respect to this 400 kVA and 10 kV, if you calculate the current, maybe you get it's around 23 amperes. The switching frequency, they generally operate this particular power converter is of around 3 kilohertz. Okay. Just given about in what way the dynamic voltage restorer is. Here they have used here the battery. Maybe the voltage which the battery and the capacitor, it's also you will be having a in between the energy storage and the connection between the capacitor. You will be there will be a converter will be there. Okay. Yeah, and then this particular design of this filter, which is of an LC filter. I'll come back the design of the filter also if time permits. Generally, whatever the inverter which is functioning, or it tries to inject the voltage with respect the injected voltage frequency is of 50 hertz only. The injected voltage by this particular inverter is of the 50 hertz only. Why? Because see, there is a sinusoidal voltage. Maybe if you consider this is a sinusoidal voltage of 1 per unit, maybe the reduction may be around this is the voltage has been reduced. Okay. This is about the sag voltage. Then we try to improve this particular sag voltage to this voltage, the 1 per unit. The voltage which is there is of a frequency of T is equal to 1 by F. The frequency of the particular signal which are being expected is 50 hertz signal. Okay. Whatever the switching frequency component, whatever the switching frequency order of the components, when you use the PWM techniques, to eliminate the switching frequency component, we can use this particular filter. Okay, this particular filter, the LC filter, which has to pass fundamental frequency components, and the rest of other switching frequency components, it has to be suppress, or it has to be attenuate, not attenuate, it has to suppress. Okay. Yeah. Now it is clear that we have been using an AC source. How does we have to use? Okay, in the AC, when you have an AC source, standby AC source, we have to go for a three-phase control rectifier, and then we need to regulate this particular the DC link capacitor capacitor voltage. If at all, if there is a DC source, then how do you use it? DC source in the sense like if you have a battery, okay. In that case, how does it looks like? We can go for a DC converter, and then we have a battery. This way. Okay, this particular the DC link voltage, generally what they try to prefer was the DC link voltage is 1.6 times of the supply peak voltage. Suppose it is 230 into root 2. 230 is a single phase voltage. I'm talking about the phase voltage. 230 into root 2 into 1.6 times. Generally, they keep this the DC link voltage. Okay, I mean it is basically the voltage should be whatever the AC side voltage. I mean the DC side voltage should be much more higher than the AC side voltage in order to have the power flow from the inverter side, from the DC side to the inverter side. Okay, for that reason. Okay. By having this particular voltage of 230 into root 2 times of the 1.6 times, we can have the bidirectional power flow also. Okay, it's not like that we cannot have it also. We can have the bidirectional power flow in the sense like the direction of the power flow, instead of flowing to this particular direction, we can have this direction also, provided like whatever the stored energy in the capacitor is there, it has to be charged. It has been used to charge this particular the battery. Otherwise, this capacitor voltage is going to shoot out to a maximum more value than the prescribed value. So far, whatever we have seen, like the understanding is the dynamic voltage restorer with respect to the sag voltage. Then how does the DVR, the dynamic voltage restorer, can also be used for even the swell. During the voltage swell also. This is about the, see here I mentioned here, keeping this particular voltage of 230 into root 2 times of into 1.6, we can have the power flow in this particular direction. Okay, in this particular direction, provided that whatever the power which is going to flow in this direction, it has to be used for the charging the battery. For a case of a battery, if you take the consideration of an AC system, then it has to feed to the power to be and a standby AC source. It has to be injected. The power flow is in the bidirectional. I'm mentioning about the bidirectional power flow will be there. Why? Because during the swell condition, the voltage level at this particular point of VT2, this device is going to act as a sink. Whereas during the sag condition, the series compensator is acting as a source also. acting as a source. Source in the sense like it is delivering, it is injecting the power to the grid. Whereas in this in a swell condition, it is acting as a sink. We can understand it by looking over the phasor diagram. This is about the VT2. Okay, just a minute. I first go for the VT1. And there is a IL which is flowing here. IL, but suddenly the voltage, instead of this, it has been increased to this particular, the VT2. Voltage has been increased. The voltage VT2 is at the condition of swell condition. Then obviously, if we consider as a constant impedance load, if you consider the constant impedance load, it is going to increase the current is going to increase the current on the load side also with respect to the VT2 voltage. Now, what this source has to do with, the source has to inject the voltage in this particular direction. Okay, is to be injected in the opposite direction. In the opposite direction, the series active power. What happened then? Then the terminal voltage, the VT1, is going to get it at the load point. At the load point. Here, this is the voltage at a VT2. The compensation of the voltage is out of phase. I'm just drawing in the out of phase. Then what happened was we are going to reach to the VT1. We are going to inject the voltage in this particular location. Now, with respect to this, the current has been reduced. The current has been reduced to the IL. Now we can understand the phasor diagram, what way the power is going to. IL. Now the current, once you start injecting this power, we have been reduced the current to this particular IL1. Even still, with respect to the VSC voltage, the series active power filter voltage, the IL1 is over here. Then obviously with respect to this, the VT1, we can understand like what will be the power injection. The power injections by the series active power filter is something like a VSC of IL1 times of cos of 90 plus some, I can say that yeah, 90 plus an angle. This is the 90. Obviously, there will be an angle of which is of 90 minus 5 angle. Okay, I mean, why? Because this is a phi angle over here, and obviously this is of minus of minus 90 plus 5. Yeah, it is of I can say that VSC times of ISC of cos phi minus over here. Okay. Minus you have been getting over here, it is minus over here. Okay, that means that see, this is about the series active power is going to series active power filter is taking some amount of the power during the swell condition. During the swell condition. In order to make out this particular possibility also, the DC battery, in the case of a DC battery, this battery should be capable to store the power, especially the real power, to store the real power during the a swell condition, during the swell condition. Okay, during the swell condition, if you are going for a DC system, then your DC should have a storage capability to suppress the voltage swell. Okay, suppress the voltage swell. Suppose in a case of an AC system, suppose if it is the case of the AC system, then it doesn't require to have a storage also. Suppose if you are going for a suppose if you are going for a system, you have a transformer, then this is a transformer, and you have an inverter, and this is having a capacitor, and this is having a three-phase control rectifier also. You can see that this should be control rectifier, and you have an AC system. Now, in the case of a swell operation, then obviously it should not have energy storage. Once if the power flow is happening during the swell condition this way, then this AC source, the standby AC source, may be having some kind of a AC. This standby AC source also is feeding some loads. So in that case, it do not have any kind of a AC storage also. Okay. I mean, we have seen like how about a swell in a sag condition, how does the power flow will be there, and what kind of the device should be connected in order to mitigate the sag condition. Even under the swell condition, what kind of the system should be there also. In a swell and in a sag and a swell, it's obviously the system should be the same only. Only thing is if at all if you are operating the series compensator, by considering the DC battery, in order to operate to mitigate the swell, in order to mitigate the voltage swell, in that case the DC battery should have an abundant storage capacity in order to suppress the voltage swell. Okay, yeah. So far, we have tried to look into the aspects of what kind of the components will be there in a series active power filter, and also, yeah, what kind of the device should be there also. Generally, one thing is the transformer, okay, and then the inverter, and you have a LC filter components, and we have here a DC capacitor, and also the energy storage. In a case of a energy storage, this energy storage is with respect to the voltage mitigation with respect to the DC system. If at all, if you are going to consider a standby AC system, it doesn't require the energy storage. Only if you consider a DC system, in that case, we require to have an energy storage. These are the components. Okay, these are the things which are being required also. Yeah, this particular device of the series active power filter, or a dynamic voltage restorer, we have seen like this can be operated for the sag as well as the swell condition. I'm not going to give a detail about the harmonics. Okay, I'm not going to detail about the harmonics. I'll just try to discuss about it also. But especially when you're going for the harmonics, maybe the functionality of the series active power filter may not correct also. I'll try to emphasize on that particular case of the harmonics mitigation also. See, the point is, maybe with my understanding, the series active power filter may not be possible, or with my understanding, it is not possible to eliminate the voltage harmonics. Okay, regarding that point, I'll try to discuss in the next coming classes. Yeah. With respect to the series active power filter, the series active power filter is involved with respect to the real power, series active power filter, as well as the reactive power. See, when you say about a DC battery, the DC battery is only thing is it is storing some amount of an active power only. Amount of an active power only. Active power. See, what about the reactive power? What about the reactive power? In order to drive the reactive power, we doesn't, the system, the series active power doesn't require to have a DC battery. It requires only the capacitor. It required to have a DC capacitor itself is enough to drive this particular reactive power. Why it is so is, in order to drive the reactive power is not being consumed by any kind of an element also, because the reactive power, it will be oscillating from this particular point to the load again to this particular point. Okay. Okay, it is an oscillating power also. It is not being the reactive power, it is not a utilized power also. Only the active power it is utilized. What is the reason why I am just mentioning about here? It is I'm discussing about the reactive power and the real power, because we know that, taking about an example of an UPS, okay, an UPS. In your households, you will be having a UPS, and the UPS is hardly connected to maybe a light, one tube light, maybe one number, maybe hardly a fan of one number. Okay, we can't if you connect any kind of a refrigerator. Suppose if you are connecting to a refrigerator, then you require to have a more the energy storage. You require to have a more battery storage capacity in order to drive the refrigerator also. If you are driving a light and a fan, maybe you will be getting a backup from the UPS hardly maybe in half an hour also. Okay, half an hour also. Okay, if we go for only the light lamp, maybe if we go for only the light alone, then we may get the power maybe 2 hours also. You can able to power up the light from the UPS maybe for 2 hours. It is obvious. It's obvious, right? Here the point in a sense like the series active power filter, in order to correct the voltage magnitude, it is going to try to inject the real power as well as the reactive power. But while injecting the reactive power, it don't have the influence that influence on the DC battery energy storage. Okay. See, during the operation of the series active power filter, during the operation of the series active power filter, to improve the voltage sag, it is injecting the real power as well as the reactive power. During this particular operation, it is injecting the series real power as well as the reactive power. The reactive power injection does not the reactive power injection by the series active power filter will not have the influence on the energy storage. Okay, because the reactive power, it is not it won't dry out the battery completely also. Okay, while injecting the reactive power, it won't dry out the DC battery power also. Maybe the power is the state of charge, maybe other won't dry out the SOC also. Okay, only the possibility is once you inject the real power, the DC battery is going to dry out also. That's what the example which I have given with respect to the UPS, light and the fan also. If you are injecting the power to a system, then the DC battery is going to dry out at a faster rate also. Here, what is the point here? Why I'm mentioning here is this is about the VT1 voltage. This is about the VT2 voltage, and in order to attain to this, if you consider this is about the locus of is the locus of 1 per unit voltage magnitude. See, with respect to the VT2 voltage, this is a sag voltage. To attain to the locus of 1 per unit, there is a possibility of the different kind of the possibilities. Okay, we can attain to this value, or we can attain to this method also. The voltage injection by the series, these are all the voltage injection of the series active power filters. Series active power filters. I'm going to discuss about the different types of the voltage compensations. Voltage compensations. These are the voltage compensation techniques have been evolved by in order to minimize this particular power, in order to minimize the real power injection by your series active power filter. Why we need to minimize the real power? In order to increase the voltage swap out for a longer duration. Okay. See, when you're taking about the only the light load, light alone the load, we have been getting the support from the UPS for 2 hours. If you're connecting the more the loads, then we have been getting a power backup for a half an hour. See, there are the different voltage compensation methods in order to minimize this particular the real power. Because why? Because see, the voltage attainment to 1 per unit value, this is about the sag voltage, is about the sag voltage. See, the voltage injection by the series active power filter is possible because once you draw the locus of a 0.5 per unit, maybe we will be getting out from by taking this particular as a center, we have been getting about this particular circle also. See, it has a possibility to attain this particular value alone. Okay, the possibilities of reaching to a nominal voltage of 1 per unit by this method or by this method or by this way we can inject, by this way we can inject, this way also the injection is possible. In the next class, we will try to see that the voltage compensation methods in improving the voltage side by the series active power filter or the dynamic voltage regulator. Okay. Yeah.